Hey, this is COG, and this may look familiar to some people. This is Prison Architect. Prison Architect is a fairly simple game on the surface. You basically are supposed to have a plot of land, and on that plot of land you make a prison. Your prisoners will need cells and food and recreation, exercise, hygiene. You know, all of these stats right here are translated into some real world thing that you need to provide for them, because you know you're the warden. You're supposed to make sure that they have everything that they need, because you're responsible for them entirely, and you're responsible for their safety as well. Prisoners will lose it sometimes and stab each other. They just do. They're prisoners. You know, they got into prison for a reason. So Prison Architect is kind of like a city building strategy game, kind of. Yeah, that's about the best description I can give of it. You start off with, I think it's like $90,000, and you're supposed to have a prison built that can hold a few prisoners and feed them, and then you build and you grow and you build and you grow, and then you eventually sell your prison and you start over again with a much higher beginning wage. So you can get at the very beginning of the game grants, which would give you some upfront money footed by the taxpayer to improve your prison, because you're providing a civic, you're providing a civic service, housing all these people. I really enjoy Prison Architect. I do, right up until I run out of money. It's great fun building a working prison and making sure that it, keeping it expanding and growing. But once you've run out of money, there seems to be a lack of things to do other than to sit around and wait for more money. That's the first issue that I've noticed with it, or the first real design issue that I've noticed with it. There are, it is, so I should say at this point that it is an alpha, and it's not representative of the final product. This is, part of my alpha is fuck series, so take what you see with a grain of salt. You may see from time to time a hearse just come through and then keep going, because there's no dead bodies, but I once had a dead body, so they'll just keep coming. So let's take a look around our prison, shall we? Just introduce you. So you have at the heart of it, a prisoner that's assigned to a cell. Your cell needs to have certain requirements. Come over here to the rooms object, and you say, I want a cell. Well, your cell has to be at least 2 by 3. It has to be enclosed, indoors, have a bed and a toilet. Now, I like to give my prisoners a bookshelf as well, because I really like books, and I think that, the more well-read you are, the more educated you'll be. So, and you have to, manage utilities that go to a power that comes from a power station that has a certain capacity. I haven't noticed the capacity with the water stations yet. I've pumped my entire, 166 prison with one pumping station, so I haven't noticed anything with that. Let's see. So everybody has their own philosophy about Prison Architect. But the one that's most common that I see is that you make a canteen, which is where your prisoners come to eat, in a central location. That way you can build all around it, and everyone has equal access to it. Eventually I'm going to build a prison suite here and a prison suite here, with some tertiary buildings in the middle. I really like the sound effects if you scroll in. Yeah, those are pretty great. I really like the dog snoring. Yeah, no, it's a really well put together game. So basic idea is you have a central location that your prisoners can come and go to. Your prisoners need things like showers. They need showers that are going to be located near them. Otherwise, they're going to spend the entire shower period walking to a shower and then not having anything, not getting actually clean. Your prisoners need things like common rooms where they can go and hang out. Watch a little TV, talk to their family, something to kind of break the doldrums. You need visitation because families are going to come visit, and they need a place to sit and be secure. You need offices for all of your managers of different varieties. You need an infirmary. You need a laundry to clean uniforms. You need a cleaning cupboard for janitors. And you need solitary for when someone misbehaves. You can throw them in the slammer or the hole for a few days. Let's see. So, the big challenge with Prisoner Architect, and it used to not be this way. It used to be you could eventually build the optimal prison, and you could let it run, and it would run perfectly fine. Not so now. Your prisoners each will have some sort of, they may have some sort of attribute, like this guy's stoic and fearless. Stoic means that he's can handle adversity pretty well, and he's fearless means that he's not repressed when a guard's around. Suppressed, not repressed. It's a different thing. Oh, someone got in a fight. You get to hear the stun gun going off. Who's getting shocked? That's what I want to know. So your people have traits. So I keep all of my volatile people and all of my deadly people in maximum security prison. I have an entire wing just for them. Yeah, you can see my deadly prisoners over here. And they go hang out with themselves because this 25 included ex-law enforcement and snitches, which you can imagine. If an ex-law enforcement or a snitch gets into, even with the medium security prisoners, they'll be stabbed to death within a day. It just is, and that ruins your valuation, and somebody died. It's a bad thing. So I have a separate prison for protected custody, maximum security. You're kidding me. That's what I forgot to put drains. They'll flood. Oh, damn! They'll flood their toilets from time to time because they're children and can't be trusted. Either in some ill-conceived escape attempt, or I don't know. I haven't actually had anybody escape. Typically, they're prisoners that are going to want to escape. They'll try to tunnel out. So you can counter that by hitting the shakedown button. It searches everyone's cells, everyone's object, and everyone's person. It makes people unhappy. So try not to do it too often. I'll let it run now because I haven't done the shakedown in a while. But As you can tell, the game's running quite slow. Well, not running quite slow; it's just moving quite slow. You have speeds that you can use up here to increase the flow, and most of the time you're going to keep it on speed 5 or speed 3. You just are. So aside from trying to tunnel out, your prisoners will accumulate weapons and narcotics and luxuries and tools, all kinds of things. And you've got to keep that down. And one of the ways that you can do that is you can hire informants. Whenever you send someone to solitary, you can potentially recruit them. That's what I did earlier. There's a little button there. I had sent that guy to solitary enough with harsh enough sentences that he gave in and said, all right, for getting out of the hole earlier, I'll give you some information. And so I've got a lot of informants now. The longer that your informants are in the prison, the more that they have coverage of your prison, so they can give you more information. The more that you use them, though, the more suspicion they incur, and they may get knifed. But this is the method that I've had the most luck with, of having my main. I think that this is something like 4 by 24, 2, 3, 4, 5, 592, I think. No, 580 capacity for my canteen. So I'm just going to build another big prison there, another big ward there. Do the same thing on both sides. I like to future-proof my prison, essentially. And then separate out the stabbable people and the stab-er people. Stabby and the stabbers. So once you've done that, and if you've got a fairly, even the most logical, even the most basically logical prison is going to operate fine. That's something else that I've run into. If you monitor your intake of prisoners and you weed out those snitches, those ex-law enforcements, which I do by activating my informants whenever they come in, usually Paul's pretty good. You can weed those people out, and then your prison, like I've run this thing, I did an experiment and I let it run for hours, and it didn't have any kind of issues, because I lost prisoners, but no prisoners went nuts. I think that's mostly because the way I've got my patrols set up is my patrols actually go into their cells. If you just kind of walk by, your guards aren't going to see them tunneling typically, so I actually have them go into each cell on their patrol. You can see that, and then he sniffs all the belongings in there, and you can see them if they're trying to work. So yeah, I haven't had any kind of issues really. Alright, this is done. This is another issue, the shakedowns. When it gets down to like 10 or less, it just takes fucking forever. I mean, fucking forever to just, yeah. So, more often than not, I just end up stopping the shakedown because that one place is probably not going to have anything. Sorry. Ooh, needed to wet my whistle. Let's see. So there's way that you can get some labor out of your prisoners by having a workshop, and then teaching your prisoners how to use it through programs. You can also do things like have them, work in the kitchen, or give them an education. Which, wow, I've actually had 19 people pass the Foundation Education program. Huh. So they've got their, I guess they've got their GED, is what that would be. Maybe not. Maybe that's just a entry course to the GED, General. Yeah, okay, that's just the entry course. You have to teach your guards how to use. Oh come on. How to use tasers, and not only do you have to do that, you have to unlock tasers through this screen, the bureaucracy screen. You can see all the technologies that you have to unlock. You just start out with a warden, and you have to research everything else. I'm not sure how much I like that actually, just as a design from a design standpoint. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, really. It just I don't get it. You know, why wouldn't you start off with you know, maybe you have to hire the appropriate people to get a program started, but once you've hired those people, it's not like he says, "Oh, you know, I'm the workman." What's his name? What's his actual name? The foreman. I know. I have to research, you know, how to hire janitors to keep the prison clean. Well, no, you just kind of hire a janitor, man. That's not really like a big thing. So I don't quite get that design choice, but either way, it's not, you know, a make or break situation. So, you know, we've run this game for about 15 minutes on speed 3. We've lost a prisoner in that amount of time, but I'm not noticing anything going really wrong. Are you? This is my complaint with the game. Building this prison was a lot of fun. You know, I got to break out the ruler and really demonstrate some of my my engineering skills. But once it was built, there's not much to do but wait until I've got, you know, enough money to say, well, alright, then I guess I'll plot down a foundation and expand my prison and get more money so I can wait. And you see the problem? Another issue that I've had with the game is I built this armory with enough guard lockers to supply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 armed guards. I currently have none at all, because they repress your workers a lot, your workers, your inmates a lot, which I don't like. And if you keep your population segregated, then hey, that's not a good word. Divided. I don't know what the word would be. So yeah, this is Prison Architect. It is actually a lot of fun. You know, you have all kinds of upgrades that you can give your prisons. Like, I've got 3 guards that use these CCTV monitors to just replace a lot of the guards that would otherwise be patrolling in areas that I don't really want them to patrol. You know, there's no real reason to patrol, but I want vision there. Because if you don't have a guard somewhere, you inside a building, like inside the shower, I don't have vision there because I don't have a guard there. So, well, some shady things could go on there. And I don't want that. You know, I don't particularly like creeping on them in the shower, but if you're going to get stabbed in there, I kind of want to know about it. So, I guess I'll go through top down. You know, you can turn off, on and off your prisoner intake. Your prisoners have needs. We've already been through that. So the supply of contraband is hard to put a stop to. You can have a lot of these metal detectors that will catch them as they come through, but it'll only scan one person every so often, I think, every like 3 in-game seconds. Or like every 3 in-game minutes or something. I don't know. Maybe like every 1 in-game minute. So if two people go through at the same time, well, only one of them is going to get scanned. You can do shakedowns, but it's a little risky. The only way to catch narcotics is to have dogs sniff, and it takes 2 dogs per patrol route because dogs get tired and then they need to go rest. So for the time that they're resting, you need to have another dog available to get on that patrol route. Let's see. The other thing that you could use is you could use your informants to say, hey, come to the security room over here. Oh yeah, they each have, they can have neat little bios that kind of flavor them out. But you can bring your confidential informants over to your security office and, you know, pummel them for information. But if you act on the information that they give you, like here, we'll watch. We're bringing Paul over. Paul's in the office now, and he's given us a lot of information. You can see that all of our protected custody units, prisoners, are marked for death. They've got hits out on them, all of them. But also, there's you can see the different items that are scattered throughout the prisons that they know about. So this guy has a hypodermic needle. This guy has a club. Let's find something truly egregious. This guy has a hammer. Maybe that might be it. Oh no, this guy has a screwdriver. So if we come over here and we say, hey, I want you to search cell. Well, his suspicion goes up. Which, you know, if you use it too much, he's gonna get stabbed. So, yeah, because they just found the screwdriver. Screwdriver is a tool. That guy's gonna get put in solitary. You can see we have 1 solitary waiting. But, you know, that's it for contraband. You can set a regime for each of your normal, maximum, and protective and minimum security prisoners. You can set up an elegant solution where none of your prisoners, all of your prisoners are in the same prison, they all have a different schedule, and none of them meet. I cannot do that. I'm not good enough. So what I do is I just say, hey, chuck in all the minimums, or all the protectives over here, and all the maximums over here. Everybody else can mingle. Because minimums security prisoners don't seem to have much of an impact on the game. There doesn't seem to be much reason for them. The medium aren't very likely to pop off, and you know, they make more money. Policy, so you can set your policy for my policy's up a little bit. Alright, I really like having the option to varying the punishments that you give them. I like to go pretty hard on the crackdown. I say, hey, you're going to try to attempt to escape. You're going to be in the hole for 8 hours, and I'm going to search you and your cell. You attack a staff, I'm going to put you in the hole for 8 hours. If you kill someone, I'm going to put you in the hole for 8 hours. You know, I really like that option. It kind of it gives you a lot of control. Maybe this is another way to. Maybe this is another way to control the flow of weapons. Yeah, because I'm finding a lot more now. Maybe I should do that. Search all of their stuff whenever they break an infraction. Or break a rule. Have an infraction. It's funny because... Alright, so policy. And we've already talked about grants. I could probably do education reform. I don't have anybody having passed the general education course, but that's fine. These are basically free money. I don't particularly like them, except at the very beginning, when they kind of give you... It's kind of a tutorial for those of you that have never played before. Then you have your programs where you can set up your different programs for your prisoners. So I've got 22 people in the pharmacological treatment of drug addiction. They need a medical bed in an infirmary. They go there and they try to get weaned off of heroin or whatever. I've got an Alcoholics Anonymous group that meets in the common rooms. They need chairs though to meet. That's fine. Then you have the finance page. Finance just kind of sums up your total cash. You get a lot of money for not having days, or for having days without an incident. We're actually, $100 in the hole, so to speak. Well, it varies because exports go up and down. But most of the money that we're making is just for not having incidents, which, I've got 44 guards to 166 prisoners, and the only money that I'm making is off of exports and days without incident. Literally the only money. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Sorry, that was really loud. So maybe I don't know. Maybe the money could be tweaked a little bit because I've got 140 prisoners in here, but it feels like I'm not getting a whole lot of cash. And I suppose it could be because I have let's take a look at staff. I've got 15 workers right now, and they're not doing anything. I've got 62 policemen in total. That counts the canine units. And then 23 other staff. All of these guys are working to feed the prisoners. They're very useful. But the only real area to trim fat would be workers or guards or dog handlers, and workers only make $100 a day. Guards make $100 a day, and dog handlers make $150. I need all of my dog handlers that are on duty right now because it's the only way I can keep drugs down. I could reduce the number of spare guards that I've got that just kind of patrol the place, but then if I need to do a shakedown or if there's a scuffle that breaks out, well, I need those 10 extra guards because there's 141 of the prisoners. And then I suppose I could chop down five workmen, but that's only $500 a day. That. All right, then I'm making $500 a day off of just my own prison. That's not super great. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm not a big fan about how the money works. I get what it's doing, I do. It's trying to encourage you to have a conflict-free prison, but yeah. All right, so this video is now a half hour in, and we've had no issues. None. Not a single one. We've lost 2 prisoners. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. The fact that once you've built it, what do? You just kind of sit here and you wait for it to make money so you can build more. I'd prefer to see some more immediate cash system, so that you're not sitting here kind of just waiting. You know, because if you get $10,000 a day, right, and a day's seems to be about, I don't know, like 15 minutes in real time. Making any kind of substantial foundation cost about 12,000. So that's 15 minutes just to lay down a foundation. Then another 15 minutes to put wiring and plumbing to kind of fill it out, and then no, it would probably just be plumbing and wiring. Would be another day. Then you need to hire more guards, and it doesn't seem like there's much point to getting more prisoners aside from your prison valuation. You're only gonna your balanced prison. If your prison is balanced, you're only at max going to make $10,000 a day, plus whatever exports you make. So we have a valuation of 500,000, meaning we could sell it and start a new prison with 500,000, which is great. But it's not enough of a reason for me to want to spend an hour to add $50,000 to my valuation. It's just not. So, I don't know, that needs some work, I think. The money system needs some work. But overall, I really enjoy it. I have played it, probably 30 hours or so. So it's a good game. Just needs a little bit of tweaks. And it is early access, so... anyways, that's it for this. If you like what you see, well, you know what? No. We're COG now. We're not just some guy. Fuck that old guy. I'll see you later.